Well, let's get you updated on our ag market activity, shall we? I'm Marlin Bohling with you. We'll begin with a look at the corn, and our quotes are provided by Bar Chart. By the way, I did not see any overnight export sales reported this morning from USDA. So here we go. The corn market still has July trading higher, but man, has it come off of its earlier highs. There for a while, it was roughly about 8 or 9 cents higher, and now we're only a quarter of a cent higher. You have the last trade at 571 and a quarter. On December corn, we're 3 higher now at 512, kind of fading off of that earlier high of 514 and 3/4 this morning. Soybeans have been extremely bouncy and jumpy and choppy and any adjective you can throw at it. And now you have July soybeans after almost coming back to unchanged late last night. Now we're 20 and a quarter lower again. And now we're at 13.21 even. And you have November new crop soybeans down 11 and a half. We're at 11.85 and a half. And now we're well under that $12 benchmark. Over on the wheat in Chicago, July, we're now trading 5.5 cents higher at 6.11 and 3/4. In the Kansas City market today, well, check out these prices. July now 8.37 and a half, and that's up 11 and 3/4 right now. In the spring wheat trade, you now have July trading 11 higher at 8.20 and a half. It dipped down below $8 overnight. The cotton market, we have that July contract down 27 points at 85.05 per pound, and December down 17 at 83.21. Oh my gosh, it's that time of the week where we call on Ben Hushon of the mill in Whitehall, Maryland. And Ben always provides an update on what's going on with the agriculture industry in that part of the country there. And Ben, let's talk about things, how they are progressing where you are. For one thing, I had heard it's getting kind of dry around there.
Good morning, Marlin. Yes, it is. In fact, I was thinking yesterday on the way home from work when I saw all the hay that had been cut during the day yesterday. You don't need to listen to the weather forecast. You just watch. On a week that a whole lot of hay is being cut, you can assume there's no rain coming, and that's pretty much where we were last week and where we are again this week. Things are certainly not a drought, but they're very dry.
So give us a rundown, if you would, on things that are going on. What are the farmers up to this week other than hay?
So I would say at this point, one of the big things we're hearing a lot of folks, corn is 95% in the ground, at least the full season corn. And it's just a time where they are getting out, parking the pickup truck, getting out in the field and evaluating what happened, what came up, what's their stand like. It's a pretty simple process, 17 and a half feet. Lay down a tape measure and count how many stalks of corn you have, and that multiply that by 1,000, and that's your population. And again, we encourage folks, don't just assume you got what you wanted. And I know folks will tell me, I can't do anything about it now. Well, you can, because you'll know if you got it right or didn't get it right, didn't hit your target. And the other big challenge, again, I mentioned dry weather that continues. We've got fields that are very weedy. I sent in a few pictures of fields that are getting weedy, and they're so small, which seems way too early to put weed control on. But in dry weather like this, we're encouraging people, don't let the weeds, they may end up having to hit them twice, but get out there and get those weeds cleaned up, because in our area, there's no chance of rain or sign of rain, at least for the next 10 days. We seem to be stuck in a dry pattern at this point.
So the problem is, if you try and apply herbicides when it's pretty dry like that, the weeds aren't aggressively growing. They don't really suck that chemical in very well to get a good kill on that.
Absolutely. And the other issue we ran into hitting rewind, the month of April, we pretty much went about 3 to 4 weeks without more than a tenth or two of rain. Did get a couple inches the last week of April, but all those herbicides that are put down that are trying to prevent the next flush of weeds from coming, they need water within a couple weeks to get watered in. So I think we're starting to see some of our April lack of rain showing up in some early weed flushes. So, and you certainly make a valid point. Weeds seem to grow without as much moisture as corn and soybeans like.
That's certainly true, and we have often commented over the years that bad you can't make a crop out of weeds. You know, they seem to thrive in anything. All right, thanks, Ben, for the update. I appreciate that, and we'll talk with you next week once again, I hope. Ben Hushon of the Mill in Whitehall, Maryland. Don't go anywhere. Why? Because we'll be back, and we'll take a look at our livestock trade next.